So when I got these old calipers off, they look pretty awful. If you look at them, I was able to get these to go back inside, but see where this rubber is old and corroded and got holes in it and everything. Of course, this whole thing is covered in rust. I'm pretty sure the bleeder valve is going to be the same way. This might work, but where this is all, you know, basically corroded here, I'm not going to put them back on there. I'm going to take them off. Which brings us to a similar point to what we had earlier when I was showing you how to loosen that other bolt. I can't get a socket, like a 6-point socket on here and hit it with an air wrench, and I don't want to anyway, because this is going to hold the brake fluid, and then as soon as this comes off, it's going to start raining brake fluid out. So what I did instead is I sprayed some of that CRC freeze off on there and let it soak while I went to the part store to get me some new calipers. And then I got this wrench on here and hammered it down, kind of like I did before, and then I just took and hit it this way a few taps, and that tapped it loose. I wouldn't be able to get an air wrench on that, or might get a long pipe bar, but I wouldn't have anything to prise by, because I'd be holding this with one hand and trying to prise it and hit it with the other. So by tapping it like that, that little bit of shock kind of knocked that loose enough so that I know that's going to pop right out of there. Now putting my new caliper back on is going to be pretty easy. I just get the pads in here and get it all in place, drop it right down between these two things, and put these little locking things back on the top of it, and we'll be good to go. That should go pretty quickly, and then we'll go to the other side, and then we'll talk more about what comes after that. So here's something else I'll say about new calipers. I've put them on backwards before, and what happens when you put them on backwards is this line on this one, this brake line, is going to go to this hole on this one, and if you look at the two of those, you'll notice that brake hole comes out on the front of, what am I looking at here? On the front of that one and on the back of that one. So I know this is not the right side for this side. So I'm going to take this one, put it back in the box. And by the way, I got all these shiny new pieces and parts that goes with that. So that's going to be good. Even a new brake, that part that goes into the brake caliper and that the fluid goes through is right in there. So all of that will go back over here in the box it came out of, and we'll grab the other one. By the way, the guy at the part store told me these have a lifetime guarantee. Guaranteed against rust, dust, or bust, or something like that. Won't rust, bust, or dust, or get dusty or something. I don't know. Anyway, and I'm thinking, well, that's awesome, but what's the chances I'm going to keep up with a piece of paper and a receipt to prove it? I got a thing with a lifetime guarantee on it. Probably not very good. So I don't know whether that's worth writing down somewhere and sticking somewhere, because by the time these rust out, how old do you think I'm going to be? Oh, I'm going to be right on up there. I don't think I'll ever live long enough to take care of my lifetime guarantee. I noticed too, this one's got a red cap on it, and the other one had a blue cap, so they must do that to mark the one side from the other. But you can see these two both have that line on the same side. So I always carefully loosen up the bleeder valve before I put everything into place, and then I'll attach that line and we'll slip it right back over there. By the way, I set this up here so that the weight of that line won't be supporting that thing while I mess with it. And I did, wipe the grease off that line and kind of look at it all the way back up to there, and it looks okay. A little bit of rust right there, but nothing coming through there. And I might slap a little bit of that. I've got some of that rust stop oil stuff, and that works pretty good for stuff like that. So I might slap a little bit of that on there. Okay. So here's something I've never seen before. I got this one, and the threads for this bolt were jammed. I couldn't get the screw in it. So I called the store over there to ask them if they had a replacement, and they said they only carried one for each side in stock. So what I told them I would do is I am going to keep trying to get this started, and I'm using the old screw here, and I've got it in there, and I'm doing something like what I was doing earlier, gentle tapping while I try turning it. Got it in the vise with the idea that the vise will keep it moving. If this don't work, I'll have to wait till tomorrow, or maybe find another store to get one from. Sometimes you'll have a screw that'll be burred on the end. I tried this bolt and the new bolt that came with it to make sure the burr wasn't in either of these. It's actually inside of here. Don't know if this will be successful or not. Sometimes a little gentle persuasion will work. Sometimes it won't. Now that I've got it in there a little bit of ways, I'm going to back it out and look at the threads. See what it's doing. See, that's stripping. That's just plain old stripping.